Emergency, emergency, a brand new Wolverine #1.
This calls for an emergency edition of the Comic Book Syndicate. This week we will be talking about the Green Lantern trailer. We'll be reviewing the Wolverine #1, discussing the death of a famous Hollywood star, and what's the other thing we're doing? Is that it?
Green Lantern?
No.
So, what do we got in the news this week, Michael?
Well, this week there was a celebrity death and someone who's sort of important to comic books, Leslie Nielson, the captain from Forbidden Planet.
That's terrible. Brilliant Canadian. There was also another death, which is very sad. Yes, Irv Kerschner.
Who's Irv Kerschner again?
Irv Kerschner. He's the director of Empire Strikes Back.
He's dead.
Yeah.
That's not true. That's impossible.
Yeah. Search the internet. You know it to be true.
No! No! Hi guys, we're here at the Fog Lounge celebrating International Day Without Art, reading Wolverine, The Best There Is #1. A little bit of a fresh start. Wolverine's been going in a strange direction the last couple years. Wolverine Origins, they've been not exploiting, but his hidden past that's now been revealed. So they've sort of moved past that, and so this is supposed to be the new direction. Now, this is the first time on the show, and you're here to review comics, as you know.
Yes.
So why don't you tell us your first impression?
I wouldn't say I would do backflips over it, but it wasn't bad. I'm intrigued. I think I'd like to read on and find a little bit more about the story. The art was interesting. It reminded me of Jeff Darrow, who did some artwork with Frank Miller on Hardboiled. It's pretty wild. It's a little violent for me, and a little extreme, but I'm definitely want to read a bit more on it in the story. It's kind of neat.
Okay, George, tell us, what did you think, man?
Agree on most fronts. Madcap is wicked. This art is very much, and the story is very Wolverine, except for the prancing around at the dance club, which I also got confused for a minute. I thought they were in Windsor for a second.
Okay.
Because they went over the bridge, and he didn't have his passport, and then he called the guy Windsor. So just being from Windsor, it all kind of worked out for me. I thought that was really cool. But I'm definitely going to get it again. This guy can't really draw faces all that well, but he can certainly draw fences and rocks and all sorts of cool stuff. It's very Wolverine, the artwork.
I'll tell you what I didn't like first, okay? It's a good cover, but I don't like the uniform. It's one thing to have it on the cover, but he doesn't wear it at all in the issue, which sort of makes me think, well, this is sort of like the Wolverine for the adult crowd. But when you have him on the cover with the yellow and blue costume, it sort of kills that mystique. I did really like the art. I love the texture. You're right, Jeff Darrow. You're right, though. He can't really draw faces. It's almost like there are a lot of asymmetrical faces. Like he doesn't really know his anatomy well. But the texture is incredible. The bleeped out swearing got old really fast, really fast. Trying a little bit too hard to be maybe like a Garth Ennis comic or something. I gotta say, though, when I got to the end, it was weird enough and intriguing enough that I do want to buy it next month.
Yeah, I agree. I'm just looking at the panel you have, with the blood dripping down the panels. Thought that was kind of funny. But definitely, I'm kind of, being it's a first issue, you're still kind of getting, into the story and kind of understanding what's going on. But I definitely want to know what's going to happen next.
Mm-hmm.
Does anybody know who the white-haired vampire dude was?
No, I don't. And again, that's what's kind of cool is because we've got these new characters and they're interesting enough that I'm like, what the heck are they doing? Pulling this guy to the ground, giving him this acid on his face, and what's their motivation? Then they show up at the end. Okay, first of all, the ending's crazy. What happens at the end? Yeah. Again, I don't know if it's good or not because I don't know what's going to happen, but it's crazy enough that I'm like, I have to buy the next issue now because I have to find out what's going on.
Yeah, it's, I guess the only thing that maybe I could say a little bit of disappointment is, oh good, we got another Wolverine title, kind of wondering if they're going to, pump out like they did with Deadpool with so many different titles, and it gets then tiresome and old, so it's a little bit, it's a different angle, so we'll see what happens from there. So it's not the typical that we've seen. So
George, you gonna read it next month?
Absolutely, 100%.
Next month?
For sure, yes.
Awesome, me too. Wolverine, The Best There Is #1.
In brightest day, in blackest night, no evil shall escape my sight. And those who worship evil's night, beware my power, Green Lantern's light.
Hi guys, last week Hollywood released the trailer for the upcoming Green Lantern film. I don't have much to say about it. A lot of people are complaining about Ryan Reynolds in the casting. I do have to agree, I personally don't think he's good for the role, but seeing what Michael Keaton did with Batman, I'll give him a chance. But the biggest problem is with this trailer, and people might think I'm being petty, but the costume. Green Lantern doesn't need a costume update. He had the perfect green and black and a little bit of white costume designed by Gil Kane. And if that isn't the best superhero costume ever made, I don't know what is. But I don't know how they turned it into this sort of amphibian-like texture and made it all green. But anyway, that's just me. Other than that, the trailer looks good enough that I'm interested to go see it, obviously. What do you think, Kevin?
I'm still mixed on it. You mentioned the costume, same thing, kind of little bright green, amphibious style. I find, though, that there's going to be maybe too much comic relief in it. And to me, this is Green Lantern is not that type of character. He's got more of a cocky, air pilot type of attitude. So I guess, it's a preview. There's still a lot more to see. So I'm curious. I want to see it, but I'm mixed.
Hesitant.
Yeah.
George.
I think Ryan Reynolds is awesome. I think the costume is poo. And as long as it's just not Iron Man, because that's what it looks like, that they're just making DC's Iron Man. As long as they don't do that, I'm pretty sure it should be good. You got Kilowog, you got Space, you got Sinestro, you got all sorts of cool stuff. Looks like they've got the Green Lantern stuff in there. The last cartoon they did was amazing. So, as long as they follow that and follow what the fans have been saying, I'm down.
I didn't like the last cartoon, but that's just me. But, well, whatever. I'm still pumped. I mean, obviously, Martin Campbell's a great director. He did Casino Royale, so I have faith in him. So hopefully this will be a good movie. Don't let us down. Green Lantern coming soon. Are you still keeping up with last year's tradition, giving out mustaches and all that?
Yeah, like we are we're in the process of making a bunch of them. We can't keep them on the table. People are just going nuts for them. In fact, I got to pay a visit to Mary Ann from Gilligan's Island because she wants one, I guess. So I got to go deliver one to her soon. But we took the DC, the Green Lantern approach this year. So we had gray mustaches yesterday. We got white mustaches today. So black mustaches tomorrow for all you completists out there.
Do each of them represent a different emotion, or is that?
No, they represent a different era, a different level of awesome with your facial hair. So
how has the last year been for you as far as the comic?
It's been awesome. I've just been getting a lot done. After issue 2, I'm doing bi-monthly release schedule for it, so it'll be every other month. So, but I started, since I'm doing that bi-monthly, I started doing a monthly thing for little guys. It's a comic book / coloring book hybrid. So after they're done reading it, they can color it in. I purposely left it black and white. So just every issue will be a different, it explains something to the kids, in a whimsical fashion. It's a polite way to lie to children. So.
Okay. Now, do you have any advice for young up-and-coming artists like yourself?
I like to quote Nike and just do it. No, Nike didn't pay me to say that. No, just do it, because a lot of people think that to do comics, you have to work for a company, you have to work for Marvel, you have to work for DC. And while that's great, if you can get those jobs, you just have to do it. If you want to do it, just do it. I said, since I was younger, I want to be a comic book artist. I want to make comics, and I just did them instead of waiting for somebody to allow me to do them. I just did it myself, and just keep drawing. Do shows. You meet a lot of great people, and basically sooner or later something good's gonna happen. So if you're a good person and you work hard, something good will happen to you. So.